Y'all, right now, there is just so much going on in that house. There's game drama, there's real life controversy, there's feeds being cut all over the place. It's all just a mess. Right now, we do have a brand new HOH, but honestly, the game could really be going anywhere this week. Who knows? There's going to be obviously a lot to get to today, but before we get started, once again, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button if you have not already. The edit that you see on the TV show never shows the full picture, and reality TV in general has a history of covering a lot of stuff up, like we'll get to today. So if you would like a deeper dive into what actually goes on the show beyond of what you see on TV, this is the channel to subscribe to. Now, let's get started. So, as we just saw, Brooklyn was just evicted from the game almost unanimously. Her eviction wasn't really a surprise to anybody after she lost the AI arena. After all, she had been a target for a lot of people for the way she reacted to that blindside. Now, if you ask me, I kind of really started to love Brooklyn after she became a villain. I just thought she was so fun. I mean, sure, she was petty and a little bitter, but that's fine. To me, the throwing the clothes on the floor and calling out Tucker during her last speech, that was all harmless. It's just a good, classic Big Brother time. Well, unless you're Tucker, of course. Now, as we saw on the show, even though Tucker was technically in charge last week, he almost lost a grip of his HOH. If Brooklyn would have won that AI arena, it was looking like the house was going to save Chelsie over Cam, which is not what Tucker wanted. Chelsie has a decent social game and was able to bring a lot of Tucker's allies over to her side. People like Kimo, T-Kor, and even Rubina wanted Chelsie to stay no matter what. And from there, they were able to convince most of the house to keep Chelsie. Of course, Chelsie ends up saving herself in the AI arena, so none of that really matters in the end. But I think it's just important to know just how easily this whole thing could have flipped on Tucker just like that. Overall, I'd say that Tucker's HOH reign was pretty mid. I mean, on one hand, he was able to secure an alliance and he was able to get his main target out the game, so props to that. But on the other hand, the alliance that he formed is not the most stable. I mean, 6th Avenue was this close to crumbling if they had to vote out Cam, and that even includes Rubina. Actually, let me stop real quick and go ahead and give Rubina her 10s, because at first, I didn't think she'd have the guts to actually go against Tucker, especially after, they started getting freaky and stuff. But based on her DRs in the last episode, it looked like she was really about to go against him, and I just love that for her. Tucker does seem to have Angela and Joseph pretty close up under his wing, though. He's had Angela ever since he saved her with the veto, and Joseph has been working on Tucker since week 1, really, trying to slither his way into becoming Tucker's number 1, which has actually worked out pretty well. They have this final 2 together, and Tucker really trusts Joseph a lot, which is kind of a bad thing because people are really starting to take notice.
But to me, I just think it's hilarious how Tucker calls out other people for filming multiple final 2s, but he's also tried to film multiple himself.
Yeah. Do we think that he has currently any? I bet him and Joseph have cooked something up.
First, people are suspicious of Joseph for flipping on them, and now they're suspicious because he's so close to Tucker. I mean, they're not wrong to be suspicious because Joseph is playing a pretty snaky game, so I wouldn't be surprised if he started catching stray soon. I mean, I could definitely see Joseph getting put up on the block next to Tucker sometime in the future. So now that Brooklyn is out, week 5 is officially done with, and of course it is time for the house guests to go off and compete in the next HOH. It was apparently some sort of quiz comp that went by very quickly, and when the feeds returned back, we see that T-Kor is our new HOH. And this was a very emotional win for a lot of people. There were multiple people just crying tears of joy and hugging T-Kor and congratulating her.
We're so proud of you. You're so Don't worry.
No, absorb this.
Yeah, no, don't get there yet.
You deserve
it
now
because we're still.
Yeah, and then
Just
Even the people she's not super duper close to were happy for her, which just shows how loved she is in the house. So now that T-Kor is in charge for the week, let's talk about where she stands in the game. We already know that T-Kor's besties are Kimo and Rubina, so right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and say they're pretty much safe for the week. They're all in the 6th Avenue Alliance together, which was just formed last week. But the thing to know about this alliance is that it was really formed in Tucker's image. So it doesn't really reflect T-Kor's game plans. Now, within that 6th Avenue structure, there is another brand new smaller alliance that was just formed last night that includes T-Kor, Kimo, Tucker, and Rubina. They ended up calling this thing the Friends Alliance or something stupid, which honestly just shows me how seriously they're really taking it.
I'm not mad at it with the four Z's.
The friend. Wait, it's spelled like friends with
Z.
4 Z's.
But it's friends. With a Y at the end.
There was this really funny moment, though, when Tucker suggests naming this new alliance the Visionaries, which was the name of T-Kor and Kimo's old alliance with Quinn. And Tucker doesn't know about the Visionaries or anything. He just randomly said it, but T-Kor and Kimo's faces just drop when he says this.
I mean, or we could do like, if we wanted to give up, we could do the Visionaries, because we're changing this game up. We're trying to be truthful about everything.
Yeah.
And then it can just be the...
Oh, because the vision.
Because we all fucked with that album hard.
That's true.
Now, despite T-Kor not fully trusting Tucker here, Tucker still really likes T-Kor. He was genuinely super happy and relieved to see that she was the HOH. So Tucker, being Tucker, is going to go up to T-Kor, and despite literally everything that's happened in this season so far, Tucker is yet again going to volunteer to go up as a pawn.
I'm cool with everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't care what you do. Even if you need me as a pawn, but I don't want to be up there, but I've offered it for everybody then. So I'm not going to not offer it for you.
I am literally at such a loss for words right now. After everything that's freaking happened, after Cedric's eviction, we still have people volunteering to go on the block. Things can change at the drop of a dime in this house, and Cedric had to learn that the hard way, and Tucker almost did too. But at the same time, this broken gameplay is also very in character for Tucker, so we're just kind of used to it by now. Now, from a purely strategic standpoint, this isn't the worst move from Tucker because it gives him 2 chances of taking himself off the block versus 1. So if he really feels like he's the house target and that he's in danger of being backdoored, I kind of get it. But later on, he goes to tell Kimo that he actually doesn't want to go on the block and he seems to regret volunteering in the first place. So I don't know how strategic all this really is. But from T-Kor's standpoint, this is a really tempting offer because if Tucker does happen to lose these competitions and end up on the block on eviction night, well, hopefully then people will have the sense to actually take him out, right? As T-Kor has her one-on-ones with people throughout the night, she's able to get a lot of good information. A lot of people in that house feel really safe with her, so they feel comfortable telling her where their heads are at.
I think you should put up Cam, Makensy, and Chelsie. Because I know you like Chelsie, but she wouldn't go home in any scenario. She put you on the bottom of that alliance, and she, you know, disregarded you guys and everything like that. She was on the wrong side of the vote.
This is great for T-Kor because she's able to get all this good, juicy info, and she's able to get a sense of where everybody in the house really stands. Now, let's just see what she does with all this information. A lot of people are pushing her to put up Chelsie as a pawn since she's more alone in the game now, but T-Kor obviously doesn't want to do that. I mean, she was just moving hell and high water to keep Chelsie safe last week, so that is just going to be a bust. But hey, at least T-Kor has some information about who's targeting who in case she needs to use it in the future. A lot of people are also pushing pushing for MJ to go up on the block. She just hasn't been able to solidify anything at all since she got the Matt stink on her during week 1. T-Kor and MJ don't really have anything real going on with each other either, so that would kind of be an easier choice for T-Kor. Cam's name was also popping up a lot in one-on-ones, and a lot of that is because he has the Pentagon stink still on him. Plus, he's just such a non-factor in the house right now that nobody is really seeing a way that Cam could benefit their game. Now, on the plus side, if Cam does go up, he is very, very chill, so it's not like he's gonna cuss you out or crash out like Tucker would. Plus, again, he and T-Kor don't really have anything real solidified, so that could also be an easier choice for her. So there are a few options in the game for T-Kor, but it's going to be kind of a tougher decision for her because she doesn't really have any ops. T-Kor is one of the quietest people in the house. She is a much better listener than she is a speaker, which just makes her a really good confidant. So she doesn't have any real enemies, but she's also been kind of roped into some alliances that really don't fit her.
That's another thing I feel conflicted about too. Like all these alliances, like Angela and Joseph were added, and now I feel like I have to protect them.
Which sucks because I wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. You would easily been Angela.
But they got looped in.
I know, it's so annoying.
So the people that T-Kor would normally consider putting up, which are people like Angela and Joseph, they're technically aligned with her now, so it just makes it a lot more difficult. So no matter what, she's in this sticky situation where she's gonna have to piss off somebody who is not coming after her. And as of right now, the time of this recording, I'm not completely sure where her nominations will land. We saw a lot of her late night meetings on the feeds, but there's just a lot of conversation that has been missing because the feeds have been down because yet again, we have some controversy in the game. Yep, once again, y'all, somebody said something spicy and now there is just some awkward tension happening in the game. Now, I'm forced to do a lot of speculation here in this next part because once again, the feeds have been cut. So I am not 100% completely informed on what's actually going on in the house, nor is anybody else. But apparently, Leah has had a history this season of making some controversial comments. And it got so bad to the point where production actually had to step in and let her know that what she was saying was inappropriate. Now, we don't know what Leah actually literally said because the feeds have been cut and production has been hiding it. But we first heard whispers about this a couple weeks ago when Tucker had casually mentioned Leah making some derogatory remarks.
America's probably gonna put fucking Leah or Quinn up because Leah has said like 4 derogatory terms, and they do not let that shit slide. I don't know. She got called out on 2 of them, and there was a big discussion. So
there is speculation that it may have involved this character that Leah made up named Leo, which is supposed to be this drug dealer archetype that some people considered racially offensive. Again, I don't know the details. That's just really all the information that people have been able to piece together for now. And last night, there was apparently a situation where Leah allegedly made some sort of comment to or about Chelsie, and now there's tension between those two.
Did you talk to Chelsie? Did she ever say why she was crying?
Someone saying something
Inappropriate.
Yeah. Regarding
Race?
Yeah.
Again, I don't know exactly what was going on, but people were saying that Chelsie was crying about it, so obviously it wasn't nothing. Right now, I'm mostly disappointed in the production team and Big Brother for cutting the feeds and hiding all this, because who does it really help in the end, really? It doesn't help Leah, because it's like, okay, obviously we know that she said something, but since we don't know what, it's leading people to speculate and throw out accusations that could be the truth, but they could also be lies. I mean, who knows? It doesn't help Chelsie or the other people in the house that are getting their feelings actually hurt by this. And it damn sure doesn't help production or the show, because now I'm looking at y'all sketchy for covering this up in the first place. I mean, I literally just mentioned this exact same thing in my annoying Big Brother tropes video a couple weeks ago. Every person cast on this show comes into the game with their own prejudices. That's just how people are. So when someone says something biased or racist or whatever on TV, to me, that's a reflection of them as an individual, not as the show itself. But wanting to hide these things and cover them up is a reflection of your show. I know other reality shows without live feeds get the privilege and luxury of being able to cover this stuff up, but the thing that makes Big Brother so unique and revolutionary is supposed to be the transparency of the feeds. Without it, it's just another corny TV show. So the feeds have been down for hours now, probably relating to all of this drama. I mean, it is technically possible that this feed outage is due to some other issue or something else going on, but honestly, when the feeds are down for this long, usually something's up, so I highly doubt it. So that's all I got for today. Of course, I'll be back here to check in with you guys once the feeds come back on and we do get a bit more sense of T-Kor's plans for the week. Hopefully, we'll be able to piece together what all happened during the downtime. But more than likely, once again, we're just gonna have to rely on that damn TV edit. I'll talk to y'all later, but until then, bye.